everyone, Jake here. Welcome back to a new YouTube video. Today, we are going to go over the difference between desires and avatars, or avatars and desires. Okay? So, let's go over what a lot of people get confused about, and this is that they think they're the same thing. Now, these are not the same thing, okay? And if you make this mistake, you're going to end up testing for 5 different people instead of testing 5 different reasons to buy. Go over what an avatar actually is. An avatar is who you're talking to. Alright, it is the person who has the problem that your product solves. An avatar is not someone's age or gender, okay, that's a demographic. It's not their country or their location, that's irrelevant. It's not their income bracket because it doesn't tell you anything about what they want or anything at all. What an avatar really is, in the most simple way, is the person in a specific life situation with a specific problem looking for a specific outcome. Okay? Now, if we're talking about the posture corrector here are some example avatars. The desk worker whose posture is getting worse from sitting 8+ hours a day. The new mom whose back is destroyed from carrying her baby. The gamer whose shoulders hurt after long sessions, right? These are all different people with different life situations. So when you pick your avatar, you're picking who you're writing to. Let's go over an example for skincare. The woman who saw herself in her daughter's graduation photos and didn't recognize the tired, saggy face staring back at her. And now she's terrified of her daughter's wedding photos next year. All right? This is someone who is struggling with their looks inside of photos. Let's go over one for sleep. Alright, the husband who sleeps in the guest room now because his wife can't handle his tossing and turning anymore. And they haven't been intimate in 4 months because he's too exhausted and she's too resentful. Alright, different life situation. He's so tired, he cannot sleep, right? And his wife is getting sick of it because he keeps on tossing and turning throughout the night. And it's affecting their life. They're not even being intimate because he's too exhausted and she's too resentful. If you have one for back pain, right? Maybe posture corrector. The dad who had to say no when his 5-year-old asked him to play basketball in the driveway and watched his son's face fall while making up an excuse about being tired. Okay, it's affecting his life. His back pain is preventing him from playing with his son. He can't even play basketball in the driveway. Or posture, right? That other one could have been posture, but the guy whose girlfriend tagged him in a beach photo and he untagged himself within 10 minutes because he looked like a hunched over old man at 31. And now he's scared she's going to leave him for someone who actually looks confident. Those were just some examples. Now let's go ahead and go over what a desire is. Okay, so the desire is why they actually buy your product. And this is the emotional driver underneath the surface problem. Okay, there are 2 types of desires. There's a surface level desire. So something very simple, bland, vague, what they consciously say they want. I want better posture. I want to fix my slouching. I want my back to stop hurting, right? Obvious. The deep emotional desire are things they would not say out loud because maybe they're embarrassing, maybe they're, just embarrassing. I want to stop looking weak in meetings so I can finally get promoted. Okay, nobody wants to admit that they look weak in meetings, right? No one does. I want to feel like myself again, not just a tired old mom. Okay, that can be a little more descriptive, but it's okay. I'm terrified no girl will ever want me because I look weak. I look like a weak, unconfident guy who can't stand up straight. Alrighty. So he's admitting that he is weak and unconfident, but I mean, you wouldn't just admit that, like, it's kind of embarrassing. And there are 5 different kind of like ways to go about this. There's fear-based, so I'm terrified this is going to get worse and I'll end up disabled. I'm embarrassed to take off my shirt at the beach or to take my shirt off at the beach. Relationship-based, my wife looks at me differently now and I hate it. Or identity-based, I used to be the active one in my friend group, now I'm the one who can't keep up. Okay. And then legacy-based, I don't want my kids to remember me as the parent who couldn't play with them. All of these are great, and you're probably going to end up testing these at one point. Here's why they're not the same thing. Okay, your avatar is one single person. Okay, it's not multiple. But this one singular person can have multiple desires, right? So if I choose this avatar, right, a desk worker with a bad posture, this same desk worker might have any of these desires, right? Because there are millions of people who are desk workers and they have bad posture, but they all have different desires. Okay, so we have, I want to stop looking weak in meetings. I don't want my back pain to get worse as I age. I want to feel confident on Zoom calls. Or I'm scared I'm going to end up hunched over like my dad. I want my wife to stop nagging me about my posture. Okay, same person, right? Desk worker, same problem, bad posture. But these are just 5 different emotional reasons they might buy. Say all of these people over here are desk workers who have bad posture. They're not all going to share the same desire, right? Some might, right? Some might, I guess it would probably be the one that I think would be related to the most. I don't want my back pain to get worse as I age. Just cause pretty common, but yeah. But all of these people are not going to share the same desire, okay? Yet they're all desk workers with bad posture. Here is the mistake that people make. They think that desire testing means testing different avatars. So that is if I were to test 5 different people: desk workers, new moms, gamers, athletes, elderly people. Guys, do you understand how big of a mess that would be? Like, that means that you're writing copy for all of these different people. Here is what you should actually test. Alrighty, so what should you actually test? First, pick one avatar. Alright, and then you're going to test multiple desires within that avatar. And for your first desire test, you're going to test 5 different desires, right? So, for example, if I were to pick the avatar a desk worker with a bad posture, right? Here is 5 different potential desires that I could test for that. I'm tired of being passed over for promotions because I look weak in meetings. I don't want to feel like my body is broken at 28. I'm scared I'm turning into my father. He's 60 and can barely stand up straight. I don't want my girlfriend to stop making comments about my slouching. And I don't want to be the guy who has to leave the gym early because his back is messed up. Now, these all aren't just some insanely deep, crazy, wild desire, but they're deep, okay? Same avatar, right? These are all desk workers. Same product, right? Posture corrector. But these are 5 different emotional drivers. Okay, so here we have an example for skincare, okay? The woman who's done everything right for her skin, but still watches her face collapse in photos year after year. Okay, so this is a specific person with a specific life situation, problem, all right? Looking for a specific outcome, all right? She does not want her face to keep on collapsing year after year. Here are 5 different potential desires for that person. I don't want my husband to look at me and see an old woman. I want to stop being invisible to men when I walk into a room. I'm terrified of looking like my mother. She aged so badly. I don't want my daughter to be embarrassed of how I look in her wedding photos. Okay. I want to feel like myself again, not this tired stranger in the mirror. So as we can see, most of these desires are struggling with your identity. Okay. So here is the actual order, okay? First off, so here's the order. You're going to pick your avatar. Who are you talking to? Five desires. Why would they buy? What emotional drivers exist? Test desires. Which emotional driver converts the best? Okay, figure it out. Find your winning desire, right? Metrics will tell you this, okay? Test angles on that winning desire. 2 angles, preferably, for your first time. Okay, 2 angles against that winning desire. And then you're going to scale the winner and then just keep on testing, right? That's literally how it just goes, okay? You're not testing different people. Where do desires come from? Research, okay? You're going to go to Reddit, Facebook, Amazon, Quora. Reddit is the best one, okay? Facebook is hit or miss. Amazon is hit or miss. So Reddit or Quora, forum sites are really good. Here's what you're looking for, okay? What are they scared of? What have they tried that failed? What do they really want underneath the surface problem? What would their life look like if this was fixed? And then what moments actually trigger the pain? And guys, if you want to know how to do manual research, I have a video on it. You can go watch that. But yeah, guys, that is the difference between avatars and desires. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.